Big up yourself. Hi guys, welcome back to another video. Thank you for tuning in. So the blue therapy conversation is still going on. Everybody's still talking about it, especially the last episode, and Deborah is at the center of it. I'm really looking forward to the next episode. I don't know if anyone else is, but I really can't wait to see what's going to be said, what's going to happen, and I'm actually looking forward to the end of this therapy session, if there's going to be any changes. I mean, that therapist is in for a good challenge. I did not think that everybody was going to take this so personal, to be honest, but people really are. So here we have two UK influencers who speaks out and who hits the blogs, and everybody is talking about what they posted. I'm going to share that with you guys, what Oloni and Kenza said, and give my little 2 pence. I mean, I'm still seeing the comments pop up, the notification on the video that I did on Deborah, and guys it's a lot. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Thank you for tuning in. Let's dive right into the video. So Oloni says, men asking women in this day and age what they bring to the table is a very stupid question, because women bring just as much, if not more. Also, what woman is standing there like an egg to start listing all her qualities? She then says, some men are acting as if they want more when all they really want is a fine babe and vibes. Asking what you bring to the table but haven't signed on that week. Ooh, okay. Kenza said, stop asking women that you literally picked what they bring to the table. Alright, okay, cool. So guys, what do you think about let's start with Oloni first. What do you think about what Oloni said? I mean, Oloni always has something to say. I'm just going to say that. I'm just going to put it out there. First of all, men asking women in this day and age what they bring to the table is a very stupid question. Well, it's not a stupid question. I mean, it is a stupid question if they asking later, like a year into the relationship, because it's kind of like, what do you mean? Like, this is a conversation that you should have asked, or you should have had before you decided to commit to me. But a year into the relationship and you're asking me what I bring to the table, that don't make sense to me. I'm sorry. Okay, yes, things change and people end up showing different signs. Like, maybe you thought she was going to bring something to the table. I think it doesn't need to take 1 year for you to ask that question. Like, I personally feel like to ask somebody a year into the relationship, what do you bring to the table, shows that you're not satisfied, and therefore you should just leave. Like, I feel like that's a trick question. You're telling me that I don't bring nothing to the table, so just leave. To me, that's on him. Like, that's your problem. Like, if you are in a relationship with somebody and you don't feel like they're bringing anything to the table, but you're still looking like you're going to stay in that relationship, then why are you asking the question? I don't think it's a stupid question to ask overall. That's a conversation that you should have had in the beginning. Obviously not on the first day, like not on the first date, like what Oloni said when she said, how can you be asking me what I bring to the table? I came out on a date for drinks, now you're talking about an imaginary table. It can't be well with your family. Oh Lord. But before you decide that you're going to go forward with that person and actually commit to that person, then surely conversation should have substance and assurance that that person is going to be well suited for me. No? What do you guys talk about, like, when you first get to know each other? Like, this is a problem with these type of relationships, yeah? The relationship is very materialistic. It's what you start off, what you put in, how you start the relationship is how the relationship is going to go on. You lay the expectation before you continue in the relationship, before you set off. Like, don't be selling me dreams. That's on both sides. Don't be telling me this and this and that. You telling me that 6 months you couldn't tell that she don't bring nothing to the relationship? You needed to wait 1 year, bring her in therapy to ask her what you bring to the relationship. Like, come on, man, come on. You already know that your girlfriend is materialistic. You already know that she's sucking you dry. Oloni says also, what woman is standing there like an egg to start listing all her qualities? Well, the whole point, maybe I'm gonna sound like I'm contradicting, but the whole point of going to therapy is for her to have an open and honest conversation. So if a question is asked, then she should be able to not waffle. Like, she should be able to say, okay, well, during the relationship, this is what I bring, this is what I offer, and this is what I presented to you in the beginning before you decided to commit to me. You can't say that is she an egg to be listing all her qualities. Like, that's dumb. Like, what do you mean? So what, she just going to go to therapy and then be like, I'm not going to answer that, I'm not going to answer that. Like, the bottom of the story is that for you to ask what you bring to the table is telling me that you can see that she don't bring nothing to the table. Sometimes we ask questions like that because we want to catch people out, or because we want them to actually say the truth. Like, you don't bring nothing to the table. It's a rhetorical question. What he's probably saying is that you don't bring nothing to the table. What do you bring to the table? He knows that she don't bring nothing to the table. So, bro, if you know she don't bring nothing to the table, you're telling me that it took you 1 year to realize that. Like, that you should have known that at least 6 months into the relationship. You know the kind of person that she is. She's asking you to buy her Chanel this, Chanel that, Gucci this, Gucci that, take you to this places, but you still carried on being in that relationship. How can you as a man continue that relationship if you're not endorsing that? Like, it's your fault for endorsing that. Like, it's your fault that you are in this position. It's not her. Like, you already know the type of woman that she is, but you still carried on. Now, she says some men are acting as if they want more when what they really want is a fine babe and vibes. I mean, I'm not a guy, so I can't really speak for men, but I don't think that what all men want is a fine babe and vibes. Like, that's just, I don't know what kind of nonsense that is. Like, where do these people get off like saying things like this? Especially people with like big platforms. I don't know if this is pretty girl privilege. I don't know where this kind of mindset comes from. Like, I don't know if it's because men have been giving them a level of attention, so they're like, well, I get guys in my DMs all the time, like, or I get guys approaching me all the time, so this is how it is. Like, I don't understand, because I personally feel like that's not what men want. Like, men don't want somebody who is just a pretty girl, who is just a fine babe and vibes. What do you mean? Like, what is vibe? What substance does vibe have? Please tell me. And being a fine babe, I don't understand. Like, where's the substance? Like, how is vibes gonna add longevity to the relationship? That's what I want to know. And I'm not talking about key elements that help a relationship last, you know, like having fun, having a best friend, going out, all of those things. Like, I'm not talking about none of that. I just want to know what she means. I mean, I might be wrong, so if you are a guy, please do correct me. Maybe that's all that a guy wants. Maybe a guy just wants a fine babe and vibes. So we're going to move on to Kenza's tweet. Just before we do that, guys, I'm just going to do a quick promo break because your girl is out here getting those collabs. So I want to make sure that you guys can get discounts. Make sure you check out this black owned brand and business and support this deluxe luxury scented candle. I've spoken and worked with Dahlia London before, so I'm going to be working with Dahlia London again this whole month, and you guys can grab a 10% discount on me. Oh, guys, the candles are lit. Like, let me tell you now, they're lit. So you guys go ahead and purchase. Put the discount code AMI10. Let them know that Ami sent you, and I really, 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 really appreciate it. Okay, so let's move on to Kenza. She says, stop asking women that you literally picked what they bring to the table. The only way that I can interpret this is, like I said earlier, you picked that person, you've gone 1 year into the relationship with that person, so where do you get off asking what you bring to the table? It's your fault for not discerning that person's characteristics from the beginning. At the end of the day, you cannot tell me that you've been in a relationship for 1 year with somebody and you've not known that they can't bring anything to the table. You want to come now and ask 1 year later what you bring to the table. Like her saying you can't be asking women that you literally picked. Yes, they might have picked that woman. What kind of conversations do people have now when they start dating? And I get that people can lie. People can definitely lie when they have conversations, because it's almost like being in an interview, right? And when you go to a work interview, you're probably like, I'm very punctual, I pay attention to detail. Meanwhile, you know that you're always late. You know that you do not pay attention to detail, but you're putting your best foot forward. So I get that maybe that's what people do, but at the same time, I feel like 6 months is a good enough time to see, like, even 3 months. Okay, but I'm gonna say 6 months, because 3 months is kind of like, oh, you're working really, really hard to get that person. Okay, but let me say 6 months. You're telling me 6 months you can't tell? And then if you are seeing the signs and you can tell, why are you still carrying on with that relationship? But if it's a thing where you're like, you literally pick that person, why are you asking women? Which, by the way, I want to clarify, I'm not saying that you shouldn't be, you don't have the right to ask somebody, what do you bring to the table? For me, I feel like it's the timing. Like 1 year into the relationship and you're asking me, what do you bring to the table? It's not a genuine question. What you're actually saying is that you don't bring nothing to the table, Deborah. So tell the lady then, tell the whole world what you bring to the table. You're trying to catch me out, bro. Like, you're trying to make me slip. That's why she was fumbling. That's why she was fumbling all over her words and mumbling, because she knew. So my question to Jamal is, if you know deep down in your heart that she don't bring nothing to the table, then why are you still with that lady? Why? So that's my little 2 pence on there. Let me know yours. If you want, you subscribe. We're on the road to 5,000 subscribers, and I'll speak to you guys in my next video.